sweet. Close my phone. Looky here. That would be Salt Lake Valley all the way down there. And then this is Brighton Lake. Reminds me, I should probably take a picture. Haha, taking a picture, recording me, taking a picture. No, that's kind of not ideal. And then video of recording video. Of video being recorded. That's right, it's not meta. Okay. Alright. That's right. This is the Brighton Lakes Loop. And that's Brighton. That's Brighton Lake. I've been noticing a lot of helicopters over that way. Not sure what that's about. No idea. Let's see. See? Just trying to get some perspective on the trail here. Anyway. Not really trail running today. Taking it a little bit easier. Largely because this trail is a long one and you just need the energy. So trail running, I'm not really quite there in terms of endurance trail running. I'm sure there's people that can do this, but imagine if I tried to trail run this, halfway through I'd just be wiped out. Who knows? Maybe I could do it. Okay. This is kind of yeah, so I was initially concerned about the snowpack up here, but this seems fine. This seems like minimal. I haven't actually encountered any snow yet directly on the trail. It's here and there in patches, kind of off trail. You can kind of see some over there, and clearly there's still plenty on certain faces. But generally speaking, it's fine. You know what? I think that was actually off trail. I think the trail proper might have been up there, actually. I think this is actually below the trail. Yeah. This is actually the trail. Seems like it's kind of like a weird fork thing going on there. Okay. Actually, that does seem like it goes down to the lake. And then you might conceivably go around. But I'm sticking to this part of the trail. This is where I'm familiar with. And this seems like it'd be what you want to do. Up there. Doesn't look like there's people down there though. Or sound like I can hear them being loud. Oh, nice one ahead. So that, yeah, that's Brighton Lake. Whew. Okay, I think I'll take my mask out. I saw someone up ahead. I should be polite. Put my mask on. Okay. That. Let's see. This. Whew. Sorry. No problem. In here? Okay. The lake looks pretty full. This part of the trail is pretty cool. I'm not sure what type of rock this is, but it's awesome. Oh, the air smells so good. I figure it's fine to not always be wearing a mask depending on how remote you are, and then just transition to putting it on when you're encountering people. You can usually spot them from a distance, but otherwise I imagine that it's just diffuse enough that when you're not within the immediate vicinity of someone out in nature, you're probably fine. And if you do accidentally stumble upon someone without being aware of them, you know, without having your mask ready, you can always just give them lots of distance. Okay. So, yeah, this is the Brighton Lakes Loop. I started, I should say, in Little Cottonwood Canyon, kind of in the Albion Basin, right by the basically the parking lot for the I forgot what it's called, Wildcat. It's like this parking area. It's like basically at the entrance to Alta, basically. So I parked quite a ways from the actual proper trailhead for this, so it's adding an additional like 1.5 miles, I think. So that, or 3 miles actually for the round trip, I suppose. So this loop would normally be maybe like 8 miles, maybe. Ends up being closer to 7 miles, I think. 7-8 miles, and ends up being more like 10 because of where I park. I could probably park closer to the trailhead, though. I've noticed that there's parking near it, but whatever. That's fine. I think I need to put on another layer of sunscreen soon. I'm just worn out. My sunscreen already. It's a cool looking tree. Look at that. This area is just so cool. It's just so damn cool. I'm trying to remember if at some point wildflowers will be out here, or maybe I missed the time of year for it. I think there's another part that has more, but yeah, I think this might just be a little bit early for it as well. So I'm not sure what lift that is, but I think we're close to Brighton now. I believe all those lifts are for Brighton. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of like the Big Cottonwood Canyon area. So this particular pass, you kind of look, oh, there's a runner behind us. That's little, this is big. And there's snow here, looks like. Nothing that can't be managed. Other than to be a little bit careful here. The rocks. Oop, got some rocks in my boots. And some snow, I don't want that. Yeah, gross. Okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop recording now. Greetings. I'm back. This is Lake Mary, I believe. What are names for lakes? Or anything, really. It's getting existential. Okay. Nice. It's gorgeous. And then there's some jerk holes ruining the view. Nice. Nice view here. Okay. Yeah, it looks reasonably full right now. Okay. Interesting. I'll go this way. Ow. I believe that's Brighton down there. This is a scary looking shack. Not creepy at all. I believe the trail goes down this way. Okay. Goes this way. It's kind of below that little dam there. Oh, Kelly, you can go past. It's too many people here. My taste. Whew. Yeah, everyone's just getting stuck up over there. Go that way.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Whew. Oh, sorry.
He actually got a score.
Yeah, every time I hike here, this is the part that people get kind of tripped up on, which I find kind of funny. They look scarier than it actually is. But it's this part, which is understandable that people would be worried about tripping down there, but you just kind of move over here and you're good. Not that hard. Okay. Stop recording, I think. Too many people. Cool. Well, this is Lake Catherine. So that was Lake Catherine. Down below there is Lake Mary. And then around that bend, Brighton Lake. It's what makes it the Brighton Lakes Loop. That is Sunset Peak, I believe. Or maybe it's that one, I don't know. One of these. Though I'm pretty sure it's that one. Okay, I'm not going there though. Whew. I am doing the loop, and conceivably I could add this to the loop. It'd make my round trip closer to 13, 14 miles. And I just don't have the energy for that. Okay. So I went clockwise around the loop. Counterclockwise is also a good way to go. In fact, it ends up being a little bit easier in the long run. You have a initially steeper ascent, but then like it's like a pretty sharp 4 or 5 mile hike up, and then you're mostly going downhill the remainder of the way, with a couple of exceptions. Whereas doing it in reverse is this slow but continual grade uphill for most of it. Then the last 4 miles is, mostly downhill. So depends on what your preferences are. There's a decent amount of snow at this elevation. I'm not positive what the elevation is right now. I'm gonna guess somewhere in the 10,000 feet range, plus or minus 500 feet. Give myself some wiggle room. Yeah, this is the Albion Basin. This is a Brighton Pass. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a Catherine's Pass. Sorry, the way up I went was Brighton Pass. I would try to run this, but my toes are in pain right now. Ooh, I wasn't paying attention and I stepped on that rock the wrong way. I've done that several times. I think my right ankle is giving out. If I just gotta give it a second, I'll be fine now. I've noticed that being at high elevation also tends to increase inflammation. Like I'll like do something like that and it'll hurt while up in the mountains, but then you get down to the valley and it feels fine. But that could just be also giving it time to feel better, so it could be one or the other. So this is a nice little area. Yeah, this is the Albion Basin. I want to know what the name of that mountain is. That is Hidden Peak, I think. And that little zip line there takes you kind of down to Snowbird. I think that's actually a Snowbird lift, not an outdoor lift. I could be wrong. This is my guess. Anyway, it's a cool area. Some snow there. Sometimes it is easier to kind of take it a bit quicker. But oh yeah, it's a trail. Anyway, there's a lot of wildflowers out here. That area is cool. Here, all these people go. Let's go.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing? This way seems best. So later in the summer, this area smells terrible. And I think it's because there's like a lot of subsurface water combined with whatever these plants that end up growing here are. Maybe it could be the wild mustard that's like a invasive plant, but I don't know. No expert on that. Anyway, this is a nice area. Whew. I've actually not had any food today, or any serious amount of food, I should say. I've had like a nibble here and there. Ooh, careful here. Hey. Huh. Alrighty. Yeah. I have a vivid memory of also hurting my ankle along this stretch when lightly trail running one time. So keep an eye out. I think I'll stop recording once I'm around this bend and you can see the Albion Basin. Yeah. Whew. Here we go. The Albion Basin. That's a secret lake. Kind of, you can't really see it from here, but it's like a nestled over there in that little ridge line, I think, either up there or over there, I forget where. All right, these pants are not ideal for running. It's gonna fall down. Okay. It's a cool ridgeline. I like it a lot. You can hear people being very loud over there. Okay. I think I'll stop recording.